This book is called What's Out There? A Book About Space. Out in the country, away from the bright lights of cities and towns, you can see that the night sky is filled with twinkling stars. For thousands of years, people all over the world looked up at the stars and wondered what they were. They picked out groups of bright stars that looked like pictures of animals and people. The ancient Romans gave names to many of these star pictures, like Leo the lion, Taurus the bull, Gemini the twins, Orion the mighty hunter. But a few bright lights did not fit into these star pictures. These lights seemed to wander around in the sky. They were called planets, a name that means wanderers. The Earth we live on is a planet. It is the third planet from the sun. Can you find it? There. The Earth travels around the sun along with 8 other planets. Each planet follows its own path called an orbit. Together, the 9 planets and the sun make up our solar system. The sun is a star, just like the stars you see twinkling in the sky at night. It looks bigger and brighter than the other stars because it is so much closer to us. Only 93 million miles away. Look, like other stars, the sun is a huge ball of fiery gases which give off heat and light. We need the sun's heat and light for life on Earth. The planets do not give off any light of their own. All their light comes from the sun's rays shining on them. The Earth's light comes from the sun, too. The part of Earth facing toward the sun has daytime. The part facing away from the sun has nighttime. Earth spins around and around, just like a top. So the part of Earth facing the sun keeps changing. This is why day turns into night and night turns into day. How long does it take for Earth to spin once around? It takes about 24 hours. One day. Besides spinning like a top, the Earth travels around the sun. It takes about 365 days for Earth to go around once. This is why a year on Earth is 365 days long. Because Earth is a little bit tilted as it travels around the sun, our seasons change. We're in spring right now. If the weather is warm and the days are long where you live, you know your part of the Earth is tilting toward the sun. It is summer. If the weather is cold and the days are short where you live, you know your part of the Earth is tilting away from the sun, and it is winter. So the Earth is starting to tilt more towards the sun, which is why we're going into spring and summer where we live. Just as the planets travel around the sun, moons travel around planets. Some planets have many moons. The Earth has just one. Our moon takes about 27 days, almost 1 month, to travel around the Earth. During that time, its shape seems to change. Of course, the moon doesn't really change shape, but as it moves around the Earth, sometimes the side facing toward us is lit up completely by the sun. Sometimes it is lit up only part of the way, and sometimes it's not lit up at all. So we have a crescent moon, half, a gibbous, full, another gibbous, half moon, and crescent. The moon is the only place in the solar system that people have traveled to from Earth. The first person to walk on the moon was an American astronaut named Neil Armstrong. He had fun walking on the moon. He found that when he took a step, he bounced. Why don't we bounce when we walk on Earth? Planets and moons have a force called gravity. The Earth's gravity is so strong that it pulls us down. It makes us heavy. The moon's gravity is not as strong as the Earth's, so Neil Armstrong was not as heavy on the moon. He was light enough to bounce. If you were on the moon, you would be much lighter than you are on Earth, too. There is no air or water on the moon. There are no plants or animals, just rocks and dust. People have to wear spacesuits to stay alive. On Earth, air and other gases catch the sunlight and spread it around. This is why our sky is blue. Since there is no air on the moon, the sky is black all the time. To a person standing on the moon, The Earth is the biggest thing in the sky. It looks like a beautiful blue ball covered with white clouds. The Moon is our closest neighbor in the solar system. The planets, Mars and Venus, are our next closest neighbors. For a long time, people thought these planets might be a lot like the Earth. Some scientists even thought they could see signs of life on Mars. No human being has ever visited Mars, but during the 1970s, we sent rockets there. The rockets dropped robots down on the planet to take pictures for us. The robots took pictures of Mars. Their robot arms picked up samples of dirt and rock. They did not find any definite signs of life. Mars has some ice, but no oceans or rivers. The air is not like our air, and people cannot breathe it. Even so, Mars is more like the Earth than any other planet. Millions and millions of years ago, there may have been rivers on Mars. There may even have been life of some kind. No one knows for sure. We know that our solar system is mainly empty space. Even the closest of the planets are more than 25 million miles away from Earth. The first four planets in the solar system, called the inner planets, are alike in some ways. They are all made of rock and metal: Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. The next four planets are farther apart. These planets, called the outer planets, are huge, much, much bigger than the Earth. But they are not solid like the Earth. They are made of liquid and frozen gas. Under the gas, there's probably a solid center of rock and metal. Pluto, the last planet in the solar system, is smaller than Earth's moon, and it is believed to be solid like Earth. So you have Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, the outer planets. Besides planets and their moons, the sun and stars, what else is out there in the solar system? Chunks of rock travel around the sun, just as the planets do. They are called asteroids. Other chunks of rock are called meteoroids. Most meteoroids are very small. When a meteoroid flies near the Earth, the force of gravity pulls on it. As it flies through the gases that surround Earth, it catches fire and burns up. Then it is called a shooting star. Comets are out there too. A comet is like a dirty snowball whizzing through space. Comets are made of frozen gas, rocks, and dirt. When a comet gets near the sun, the pieces of dust and ice that trail behind it begin to glow. It looks as if the comet has grown a tail. The more we know about the universe, the more we realize how special our Earth really is. The Earth has plenty of water. It is not too hot or too cold. The air is good for living creatures. In the whole solar system, there is no other place exactly like it. The Earth is our home in space.